Next, the function we'll see is how to read the data from the keyboard. When I run the program, in case of those previous printf functions, what we had done is we used to assign the value. That is, in case of area of rectangle, the length value has been assigned as an 25 and breadth value has been assigned as an 35. So instead of assigning in the program, when you run the program during execution, it should ask me what is the value of length and breadth. Okay, so every time I run the program, it has to ask me what is the value of length and breadth, and those values will be entered during execution of the program. So that means we have to input the value during execution of the program. That can be done using this scanf. The syntax of using the scanf is scanf. Here within double quotes, within bracket, within double quotes, you can give here only format. You cannot give any message as you have done it in case of printf function. So to give format and then the variable list. So this is the syntax of scanf. For example, if you take an integer variable A, same way a float variable B. Now if you want to read the value of A, then you can give here as scanf. A is of type integer, then you have to use the format here %d. So no blank space, no message, nothing can be given within this double quotes. You can give only the format. Okay, so %d, comma, and here while giving a variable, you have to use an ampersand of A. Okay, so in the functions chapter, you will come to know what exactly this ampersand. For the time being, when you give an ampersand of A, there is something called as an a memory address of this A. That A address will be transferred. Anyhow, for scanf, for reading the data, for the time being, you have to give it as an ampersand of A. Same way, if you want to read the value of B, similarly to the previous case, you have to give a scanf. B is of type float, so you got to use your %f and then give your ampersand of B. For scanf, while reading the variable values, you have to pass the address that you can achieve by using an ampersand. Now if you want to read both A and B value with a single scanf, that's also possible. You can do that by giving here scanf %d %f, no blank space in between. Okay, so continuous %d %f, comma. So d is an integer, then the integer variable has to be given. So I'll give a ampersand of A and then %f, that is a float value you have to read. So give a %b. So what happens here is when you run the program for this line, the cursor will be waiting until you press a value. So if I give a value 25 and then press enter key, that 25 will be stored inside this A, and again the cursor comes to the next line and wait for the second variable value, that is B. So if I give it the B values in 3.5 and then press enter key, the 3.5 will be stored inside this B. The first value will be stored in the first variable, the second value will be stored inside the second variable. So in this scanf, what happens is when you run the program, the cursor will be waiting at this place. So if cursor is waiting, and if you have developed the software and given it to someone else and that person is going to run the program, he will not come to know what exactly he has to enter the value. It would be better if you display a message before waiting, enter integer value and then wait and the next line or else at the same line. So for doing this, that is, if you want to put a message and then wait, that can be done by using printf and scanf. That is, with the printf you display the message here by giving enter integer value. Okay, integer value, and this message will be displayed and the cursor will be waiting beside that. And then here in the next line, you can make it wait by giving your wait for the value by giving your scanf %d ampersand of B. So instead of just giving only scanf and wait for the value, it would be better if you display the message what exactly the user has to do and then wait. So this can be done with a combination of both printf and scanf. Let's try out some programs and see how to use this printf and scanf.